Good morning, everyone. Welcome to my channel. This is the new Atom 6S. Very nice. 1/8 scale. It's got the big light at the front. It's also got one at the back. You can see it there near the spare tyre on the back. Looks like a wing nut. Be able to take it on and off. Very nice. And look, even a couple little dudes make it look realistic. And there, this is my first buy off Banggood with an RC car. FS Racing, this one is made by. Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. It's got all the wiring in there to plug in your lights. So you got your front and your back. So it's got white and red lights on the back and your white bar light in the front. And I'd have to say I'm pretty impressed with it. Nice tyres on it, sponge filled obviously. I will put some tape on to cover those holes, and it's pretty easy to take apart. The only thing with it though, when you order them, apparently you can't choose the colour, it's random. So they send you whatever, and I was hoping for the blue one, but I ended up getting the red one. But it's still cool. But if you want to, you can buy the body from them online if you want to change it to the blue one. Just take all the pins out, and the pins are pretty easy. They're just on the top of the vehicle like most RCs. No screws on the side or anything to hold her on. So I'm straight off. Nice and strong. It's like a plastic on the body itself. And so all this body section, you can change that. So you can get the blue one if you want to. I think it's pretty cool. It's pretty well detailed too. The fire extinguisher and that on this side. You can see that there. Focus. Either side, it's got one either side. And the graphics aren't too bad. It's like a robot on the top here, above the Atom. Also on the sides there. See that? So it's a 4x4. Yes, Pat. Yeah, we got a new one, buddy. Hey, check that out. This is the Atom 6S. It's a buggy, desert buggy. I've seen a few others out. The Baja, that's another one, isn't it? And also, these come with XT90 plugs too, just like your Armour. So the same batteries I'm using in the Armour, I can use in this. And I'm using these, which are a very nice battery, give you plenty of run time. XT90s on them. They're a giant power. Maximum performance for your models, 80C to 160C, 6,500 mAh, graphenes 2.0. And these are the 3S. I've got 4S as well that I use for the X-Max, and I'll try and show you that a little bit later. I did have to fix it. I've done something that a few others have done too. I clipped a post with it. I thought I was going to miss it. I was on this side of it and watching the car going around to the other side, and I thought I'd miss it, but I just clipped it and broke the C-cap cup and that on it, and the steering. And yeah, had to replace that, which I got fairly cheap. Left and right side for both parts, about $12 each here down my local hobby shop. And this I'm pretty impressed with. Like, it's got a fairly big motor. It's yeah, it's Atom on that as well. What was that? It was 2000. What's it in the back there? Yeah, 2000 kV, 4274. Brushless motor, of course. All waterproof ESC. That's a 8BL 150. So it's very similar to the Armour in a way. And also, the other thing I'm impressed with, the servo is a 15 kilo, the steering, which is pretty good, I think. It's only a 9 kilo in the Armour. Steering is still fairly quick. I've still got to get out and run this. I'm pretty impressed with the suspension on it. All alloy caps. It's even got protectors on the top. Pretty good. Nice suspension. On-off switch is just here near the ESC. The rear suspension looks a little bigger compared to the front, or it's just the way they're dampened. But the rear ones do look a little bigger to me. All alloy. And we have sway bar and everything like that on it. You got your braces in here. It's a full metal base and it's 5mm. I was reading there, so I don't know if that's just as thick as the Armour or a tad thicker, but it's pretty strong. And these batteries I've already tried in this and they fit perfectly. Not a problem. Both of those batteries on top of each other, like so. No issue. 2 Velcro straps. Foam piece at the end of the battery tray there. Probably could have been another one, maybe even that, put up the other end but towards the ESC because of the wiring there. It's pretty well, the batteries are pretty well going to be resting on that wiring coming out of the ESC. If you can see that there at the end of the battery holder there, carrier. So it's waterproof. I'll get out and give it a run soon and do a little video on that. Control is pretty standard. Everyone's probably seen one of these. That's the controller. I do like the steering wheel on it. It's quite cool. Foam around it. It's like a little racing style sort of wheel on it, which I don't mind. It's not bad. Your little lid with all your usual buttons and everything there, throttle control and everything. And it looks like you can control the power as well. So you got it 0, 25, 50, 75 and 100. the throttle trim, steering trim, and all that. And it looks like I've got the throttle rev, ST rev. I don't know if that's steering rev, but if anyone can give us an idea on those, because it doesn't exactly explain it too well, or it doesn't explain them in the manual. It just tells you what they are. It doesn't tell you, the specifics of each button, what you can generally do with them and adjust them, and, what happens when you do adjust them. Like, I think that kind of explanation should be in the manual. That's the manual I got with it. Get that glare off it. So that's the manual, if you can see that all right. I'll take it out of plastic, actually. The other thing I'm a little bummed about is they don't send any tools with it. So you don't get any Allen keys, you don't get any, wheel nut, spanner. They do send you some nice stickers. So you get those in the bag. And they also send some XT90 connectors too that you can change on your batteries or whatever for it. So I do have some new batteries coming because I needed some more 3S batteries, because what I'm going to do with them, they've got the 2 plugs on them. So they come with the XT90s, but the other plugs are the T plugs. So I'm going to change them. Sorry, I got it the wrong way around. They've got Traxxas plugs on them. And the T plug I'm going to take off and put the XT90s on. So I can use the 3S in me Slash as well as me VXL Rustler. And then I can also use them in me Armour and also this. And even if I wanted to, I can use them in me X-Max. I thought I'd get a battery that you can utilise either way, because frankly, I do have connectors. Like, I've got XT90 adapters that I can plug into it, but it's a bit of a pain sometimes. I've got to carry them around and put them in, and sometimes these come out when you go over a bit of a jump or a bump or whatever. Sometimes they can pop out on the landings, but yeah. So I think it'd be easier to put the XT90 plugs on them, but then I can use those batteries in me Traxxas vehicles. I can use it in the Armour, I can use it in this. And I was quite impressed with the delivery. It probably took maybe a week longer than expected, but all up it was about 3 weeks. The week after I did order them, I contacted them to find out about the postage and tracking number and stuff, and they told me that they couldn't send both items together because I've also ordered a boat, and they had to separate it. So they sent this first, but the boat hasn't arrived yet. So I've contacted them through the week, and apparently they're out of stock. Now, that gets me too on these sites. Some sites, or businesses, you go on eBay or such like that, and you look at them, or even Wish or whatever, they usually have there if they're out of stock, or it'll say on them out of stock at the moment. Or even any hobby shop, you might be looking for something, usually on that particular item they'll have something in the corner or at the bottom or the top or whatever saying out of stock at the moment, you have to pre-order. Well, I know Banggood didn't have anything like that on this item. So I thought, in a way, it's a bit rude that they didn't sort of contact me back straight away, kind of thing, or the following week, and and specify that they're out of stock. It's coming. We'll post it out to you as soon as it arrives. I had to contact them after this arrived, so now it's like, well, this is the what? When did I get that one? Yeah, so about 3 weeks, 3 weeks and a day. So well, you put up working days, 15, 16 working days would have been the time I ordered them. Was back on the 27th. I'm just looking at the calendar here for a minute. Yeah, 27th of June, I believe it was. And I received these that on Monday, arrived Monday. So it looks pretty good. Like the motor looks pretty much as big as the Armour. I was quite stoked it had the XT90 because I didn't exactly look at those details when I bought it, which I should have, I guess. Anyway, with the manual, they're some of the cars they make. They do have other ones. I've looked on their site, but when you go and look on this site, that web address at the bottom of the page there, when you look on there, it's in Chinese. So up in the top right corner, there's ENG. So you got to hit that, and then it'll all come up in English. Otherwise, you're looking at Chinese writing. Unless you're Chinese, you'll be right. Or you can read Chinese. But yeah, so if you do go on that site, which is www.fs-racingart.com. So if you go on there, just remember BNG in the top right corner, press on that, and you'll see what's happening. So what's this? That's that one up there. Yeah, so if anyone's on, please make some comments. What you think? So it's got all the vehicles in here that it shows on the front of their blowouts, parts and so forth. There, you can see that all right, get the glare off it. I think there's another final one of it. And then also it shows you in the back here all the parts and part numbers. So, and that's for all the cars. So where are you? Start the first page. So that's the first one. All the parts. And second one, you got the parts. Also down the bottom there, you got the body shells for the different cars. As I said, for this one, the Atom, you can get the blue. So 336173 is the body decal blue. So if I wanted to, I can get online and order the blue body panels for it, decals. So I can change that. It's also got the tyres as well. So your tyre set red, your tyre set blue. So if I want to change it to a blue, I can. Yeah, and it's got all your parts there listed that you need. And it looks like most of the cars use pretty much the same sort of parts. Your rear lower arms and things like that. Some are specific to certain models. Your tyres and that. I think it's only the four-wheel drive there, the truck, the Shark 6S. I think it's the only one with a wheelie bar. I found the Leopard on their site, but it doesn't tell you the price. And I don't think you can, there was nothing there that you can order it. I had a look on my phone and yeah, there was nothing there that you can place the order through. I've tried to look on Banggood for it, but it's not coming up. A bit of light off the phone there. I'll show my eyes to get into this. Where do I go? See if I can, there it is. So I'll look this side up. Going straight in there. Right, so that's what I mean. You can see that. See up here. Oh, it's a bit bright there, isn't it? That right corner, you got to press on that for it to come up English. So it's changed to English now. So you can go into your cars and have a look through there, and there's a whole list. A whole list of cars in there. So they've got quite a big one there, a 1.4 Hammer. Another 1.4 Hammer there. Well, we've got 1.5 scale, 1.4 scale. I don't know if you can see them. So there are a few of the trucks they've got. So that'd be equivalent to the X-Max. They've got 110 scale touring cars, Dodge, Mazda, and quite a few others. They've also got your nitro cars, petrol cars. And there's one here, a model FS31220 1.8 Focus. And it says a 9S. A 9S. So you can see that one there. That one just there says it's a 9S. So has anyone driven a 9S vehicle? They'd be looking at like 3S batteries or 1 6S plus a 3. That would be interesting. So there's a few different models on here. Don't have anybody on yet. 23 minutes we're running for. I was hoping to see Steve on that on here. Thought they'd be awake by now. It's nearly 6 a.m. here. Yeah, so they've got a few different trucks, 1.8 monster trucks. Was one here, the 6S Focus, the one in the top there, that one. I was able to find that one on not Wish, on Banggood, but the other two, the Shark and the Leopard, I couldn't find those two on there. I typed in their name and that, but yeah, search results, nil. These two are quite easy to find, the Atom and the Focus. The Focus seems interesting though. Quite impressed how thick the chassis is, like 5mm. I know some of you are saying there, some of them are only like 3mm. I should double check that with the armour, if anyone can answer that, if the armour is a 5mm chassis or if it's 3mm. Substantially thick. Yeah, so looking forward to getting out and taking this for a run. Actually, I'm going to take it for a run today. I'll do a quick film on it. but because it's a buggy, I'm contemplating whether to take it to the beach and take it on some of those rocks, or taking it up to the bush trail that I've taken the X-Max up to previously over in Kyogle, or I could run up the road here. It's about a half-hour drive or so. There's some nice bush trails there, maybe with some little rough areas that might test it out a bit. It says it can get up to like 80 miles per hour, but not too sure. Be interesting to see. I don't know if one of those speed devices to test that. But I'm quite impressed with the setup. The setup's like different. Like you see the servo up here, and it's sort of horizontal compared to most that are, perpendicular to the wheels. Like there's servo arms back here. So it's a bit of a different way to set up the servo. Usually it's the other way around, a bit closer. Receiver box and it looks like it's all waterproof. I've gone around and checked most of the screws and they're all tight. I did find a couple on the actual body shell that are a bit loose and I tightened them up. So they're all good now. The way the motor on that's mounted, it looks very similar to the Armour, like to the Series 3 version. All alloy, all aluminium there, aluminium in here, and at the back. So it's 4-wheel drive. Right there, pretty impressed with it. So I can't wait to get out and give that a bash. And the other thing I will show, I'm done with the X-Max, I fixed it up. I broke these. I've heard of a couple of others doing the same. Busted those on the steering. You see the bottom piece is broken off that one. And yeah, I put the new bits on and realised that the screw and the pin that goes into the bottom is in that broken piece somewhere out in the paddock there when I clipped that post. Yeah, and that was the bottom piece off that one. And mind you, I only just clipped it. Like I was driving around the far side of it. I thought, yeah, it'll miss. And it looked like it just clipped the wheel. Like didn't hit it like full wheel to the post. It just looked like it clipped the edge of the wheel. And that's all it did. But I suppose I was building up a bit of speed at the time when it hit. And I didn't realise the damage until I sort of turned it around and started to bring it back. And the wheel's like level with the ground. Like it's tabletop horizontal. I was like, what the heck's going on here? And ran over and looked, and yeah. And you can see there how you can see that bit of plastic. It's normally down. It's where the screw and that's torn out. That other piece there would have been where the rod was. So I've lost them. So yeah, I've got to order a rod, a screw, the little cap that goes over that screw and the rod, hold it in. That would have been on that other piece. Yeah, because that rod comes through and into that hole. So I've yeah, so I've got to get those bits now. But it was a lot cheaper to get the plastic ones again than what it was to the metal. I think the aluminium ones are way overpriced. Like they're only aluminium, people. Like they make tin cans out of aluminium. Like it's a cheap metal. It's shouldn't be that expensive. Like I looked them up and they're $80, just over $80. And then you got to add postage on top of that. For two of them, 80 odd dollars. Then you got to think of postage on top. And two of them for the front, left and right, 80 odd dollars plus postage on top of that. So I'd probably be looking at near $100, maybe over, with the postage. And I think the only place you can get them from too is America. I've been trying to look at hobby shops in Sydney and that, see if they have them. I've asked me local hobby shop, but he says he doesn't get them in, and he reckons it's not worth getting the metal ones because of that exact thing, that they're too dear, as well as being metal, something else behind it is plastic will break. So he said they mightn't break if you put the metal ones on, but something behind it that's plastic that's holding those metal things, the force will be put onto them and the stress, so they could break. So looking at the steering arms and stuff like that, they could break. So in a way, it's cheaper to get these. Like left and right of that is $12. Left and right of that, $12 from your local hobby shop. I did look them up elsewhere and they were charging about 14, but then I would have had to pay postage on top of that too, so they would have worked out even dearer. So I was lucky, yeah. I called up my local hobby shop, gave them the part numbers. Only thing I was a little disappointed with, they didn't contact me when they came in. I fortunately went in. I went there Thursday afternoon. I went in and he had him there. But it was his offsider who ordered them, and he didn't write down any info that, to contact me or whatever that they were in. And Rob said, "Oh, I wanted to do these before," and I got them finally. But now I've got to go back today and order these other bits. I'll take the book in so we can order them off that and the part numbers, and hopefully get the X-Max back out and running again. But yeah, I want to get this buggy out and see how she performs. I don't think it's bad at all for the money. One thing I would advise buying off Banggood is don't buy the item straight away, because I noticed the price changed, because I was looking at this for a few weeks, and when I first looked at it, it was over $800. I looked at it 3 weeks later, and it had dropped down to like 700 odd. And then a week later, or a few days later, I looked at it again, so I really liked it, and it had dropped down to $617. So I thought, right, bang, I'll grab it. And with taxes and postage, it ended up costing me, I think it was about $670 $6.76 something with tax and postage on it. So I thought that was pretty good. Because otherwise, yeah, well, I pretty much saved $200 easy. So that's one thing with Banggood. Don't buy the item straight away because they have specials on it and the price fluctuates. So it could be high one week, drop down the next, and then the following week it could drop down further. So you can potentially save yourself, like I did, a couple $100 or so on the item, which I fortunately did. Also, when you're building up the points, you can use those points to, take a percentage off. Like as I said, I bought 2 more batteries, 3S. With the Traxxas plug and the T plug on them. They are a 7,000 mAh, I believe, and 40C discharge on them, so they shouldn't be too bad. That's pretty much it. It's those drives and that on the X-Max I've got to replace. Well, I thought there might have been some more people on. I told a couple there the other day. Yeah. See what's happening here. Been on for about 37 minutes so far. Anyway, that's about what I'm up to. I also ordered a new battery charger as well, because I've got a basic battery charger, a Tornado. It's only 80C and single batteries. I've got the different plugs for them. Probably got to buy on the computer in. So, sorry about that. So I've got the XT90 to plug into it. I got the Traxxas as well to plug into it to charge the batteries. But the Tornado RC charger, it's been good. I've had no problems with it. It's a cheaper charger. You can get them for around $80. This other one I've actually got off Banggood. It's going to be able to charge 2 batteries at the same time. So I can charge 2 different size batteries in it. Or I can charge the same, so I'll be able to charge those at the same time now instead of charging one at a time and waiting all that time from the charge. And it's 100C, so I should be able to charge them fairly quick, and it's designed for 2. And I got that for about $160. And then I looked on it again yesterday, and that same battery charger is over $200 now, about nearly $230. And I took some of my points and used them and took a further $30 off it. So it brought it down to 160. So 160 something dollars, nearly 161, might as well say, for that charger. So I've saved a good amount on that. So it's at around nearly $70 I saved on that. So pretty happy with that. Wow. So 40, about $70 savings. So it's worthwhile building those points up till you get to a certain amount, and then using them to help you buy something too to knock down the price a bit. But as I said, watch the prices on Banggood. Like if you're looking at a certain item you want to buy, don't rush in and buy it straight away. Just watch it, because the prices on these items fluctuate. Sometimes they have special sales where you might catch them and they're a lot lower. Like this desert buggy that I bought, this Atom, like I think I got it fairly cheap. If anyone else has got the same type of vehicle, if anyone else has bought that, that's the body. Anyone else has bought that cheaper than what I got it, I suppose, well, with the exchange rate too, I guess America would get it a lot cheaper than what we did. They'd probably get it for around 300 maybe. Same with England. Like England would probably be around 300. But here in Australia, how selfish our government are and don't like us buying things online and stuff. They've got all these bloody taxes and bull crap on them. So, yeah, we've had to pay. Well, I think Australian-wise, with our dollar, I made a good saving on that by just being patient and waiting and watching the price. And I've saved a good $200 easy. Like, yeah, I would have been pissed, mate, if I jumped in there and bought it that $800 and then looked at it a week later and found that I could have saved $200 if I'd just been a bit patient and waited. So that's the key with Banggood, I think. Just be patient and wait and watch the price, because the prices do fluctuate a bit. Like it could only be $10-20, but it could be, you know, as I said there, I saved about $200 just being patient and waiting and watching the price. And yeah, so I'm quite stoked with that. So I actually got that, a 6S vehicle, cheaper than I bought my Armour Outcast for. So that Armour Outcast, I think I paid, I did the deal through me hobby shop. If he ordered whatever, I got it for $650. Oh, sorry, no, $750. Sorry, $750. I got that for. And I believe now, I think they're up near $800 now for even the V4 version. But I don't think I'll be buying the V4 version. The controller, I've heard, lets it down a bit, and seen a couple of videos there where fellas have jumped them in that, and they believe the chassis brace and that they've put in has actually caused the vehicle to break. Like I've seen them break like the drive off the back, like, you know, that it's hit, it's landed, and it's just broken the rear drive off the vehicle, like, and the chassis brace and it's been intact, but and it's just broken it off from the chassis, and it's like, what the? He reckons if that brace, a few of them, they reckon if that brace wasn't there, it would have flexed a bit, and that wouldn't have happened. So I don't know. You can see some of them jump fairly high, and some pretty wild landings. Maybe that was the issue. But some people say it helps, some people say it doesn't. But I don't know. If I did buy another Armour, I was thinking about buying the Creighton. But if I did buy the Creighton, I think I'd get the V3 version, I think. Because I've had no problems with the Outcast. Like I've jumped it fairly well, and I haven't had the chassis bend on it yet. I scratched up the base of it and stuff, like going over jumps and things, hitting bumps or rocks, but haven't bent it. but other things have broken on it. What was it? I busted a screw out of it there with the suspension. It actually snapped the screw. What else had happened to it? The tyres have popped, like busted away the seal to the rim. It was actually busted away. I don't know if that was just from them bloating when your wheel's spinning when you're doing a wheel stand, doing a wheelie or whatever, or just in the air when you're flipping and you have to hit it to rotate to, pull off that landing. And the tyres have just blown, or it's from landing. The tyre just blows out from the pressure. It's the only other problem I've had with the armour. And the other was I was having issues with the ESC with it there for a while, but that seems to be okay now. Like, it seems to be sorted. So I don't know if it was set properly when it was manufactured, or it was my fault. When I was fiddling around for trying to get used to it, finding out how it works and whatever. I suppose we all have that trial and error with these things. You got to muck around with something to find out how it works and what it does, and get some advice, and then you finally figure it. But it's hard to say off that ESC because I haven't had another problem with it actually since I got it corrected. And the X-Max, it's been going well. They're pretty well the only things I've had to replace on it, I think, with the X-Max. It's those. So, yeah, try not to clip a tree or a post. And, these won't break, but if you do, expect these to snap. So, and that's a shocker. just snap that straight off. So, put a band on there, and you can see the bits that are missing. Well, actually, that does go flush. But there, that bit that was there comes up like a U shape. Snap that off, and it was gone. I could not find it. Yeah, so there's other couple little bits I've got to order for them. Anybody else on yet? Turn the mic up a bit, Nobody on yet. Okay. I'll let that coffee get going. I'll make another one. These are those parts of the X-Max. The broke was the stub axle carrier and the caster block C-hub. The ones I broke. Yeah, there's some there. Try not to clip a post or a tree. I think I read in a comment there the other day, I think someone talking to Pat, it might have been that they hit a tree. And I've been done the same thing. I don't know if they broke both parts or just one of the parts, but I end up breaking both. Luckily, the drive shaft and that there, it wasn't bent or broken, so I think I was lucky there. Axle. Yeah, that's the only thing I'm disappointed with the Atom, with their vehicles. They don't send some tools like you think they would have sent, Allen keys and your wheel wrench and that to be able to do those things. But luckily, I bought others there, and hopefully, the wheel wrench off the arm or all that will fit. Will fit those. So I'll have to try them. See if they fit. Probably should grab one out. Let me chairs. So that's a good quality tool. All metal. See if that fits. It does. It does. So it's a 17 mil. And that's a laser 17. Fairly tight too. Feels in that. Yeah. And nice and tight. Yeah, so that's lucky. That one fits. 17 mil. Good air. So that camera right there. Nobody else on yet. What's happening? Okay. Yeah, so the controllers are Fast Racing. It's 2.4 hertz. AFHDS. So the control was made by them at G2-2E. There's normal four AA batteries in that. It looks to be a bit bigger controller light up in the top area, but a little aerial there, but it feels nice. I'll wait to get it out and test it out. So I don't want to film on that. But yeah, all on the suspension and everything too. Atom written on the suspension, written on the motor. So I'm guessing with their other types of vehicles here, you'd probably find the same with them. So like the Focus or the Shark or the Leopard. I was trying to look this one up, the Leopard. It sounds all right, that one. There is another one on Banggood that's very similar to it too. I think Kev might have bought that one. Yeah, it's very similar. So it's a truggy. Yeah, so they got phone numbers on the back here. Email address if you want to email them. Yeah. So I guess in their 6S models, that's the 4 they've got there, but they do make other ones as well. And it sounds like they make ones, or looks like on their site, they make ones actually as big as the X-Max too. So there's a 1.5 scale truck there that looks a bit like a Hummer. And there's a couple of others there that they're saying a 1.4 scale. So that's slightly bigger again than the X-Max. It'd be interesting to find out how much they're worth. If if this was around the 600 mark, 6 to 800, well, their 1.4 scale, I'm guessing, would probably have to be a similar price to the X Max, probably around your 12, 1300. I noticed America, well, there's a shop there in America that's selling the X Max at the moment. They're selling it with two 6,700 mAh batteries and a charger. And in Australian dollars, they want about just over $1,800 for it. That doesn't include the shipping and tax on top of that. So you'd be looking over $2,000 Australian for that, if that's what you wanted. So they send 2 Traxxas batteries and a charger with it as well. Which it's a bit pricey. So I think I got my X Max here in Australia. Just over 1,400 with postage. It's here in Australia, as I said, with the taxes and stuff. It's a little dearer to buy the vehicles. But I'll get out and run this today and see how she goes. And I'll chase up the other parts for that X Max. I did have one of the bolts actually come out of the body. So I've got to order some new bolts for that and probably some new washers. The washers I got off eBay. You can find them on there pretty cheap. They got them there in the box. And they were the countersunk ones too, the countersunk head. They fit nicely. Yeah, so I'll probably have to order a new lot of them. And there's what, I think it was eight in the pack. might have been 10, I think, actually, in the pack. And they were only around, I think, around $4 or $5 for about 10 of them, compared to some places just selling, I think they were selling like 8 for, I think it was like $7 or something. I bought for the X-Max. I recommend buying washers for the X-Max. So they're the ones I bought. Tarish on here. Yeah, they're an M4. So M4 size. Don't get the M3, too small. So they're the M4 size. I found them on eBay. And so what's 4 there? 1, 2, 6, 7, 6. Yeah, so 10 in a pack. Yeah, so you get 10 in a pack. And they're about $5. So I thought that was pretty good. And I guess with the postage, I think it was about 8. Worked out to be nearly $8. I think all up with the postage. So I'll probably have to order another pack. I got 4 there, so I got 4 spares, but I'll have to get the body screws for it again. So I'll have some spares of those, but probably happened on one of the rolls or something. I was practicing some jumps there. You'll see one of my videos there. We're at Nimbin Skate Park, just practicing some jumps and that with the armour, and then I pulled out the X-Max. And there were a few kids around that day, so I was giving them a bit of exercise. They're trying to chase it around and catch it. Not a chance. They didn't have a hope. Ducking and dodging them. So that's in one of my other videos here if you want to take a look at that on my channel. Probably could make things a bit more exciting, and maybe play some music. So just hope I don't disturb anyone, because it's 6:30 in the morning now. We got a bit of a break from work today. We finished at 3:30, which is not very normal. I just happen to have a few people on. Everybody else has gone live at the same time, so everybody's doing their own thing and they're just not watching mine. So that's good to know that the armour wrench fits this, which is great, 17mm. Some pretty good tyres on them, pretty solid, and they're all glued, which is great. And that's what I loved about it too, XT90 plugs on it, beautiful. Just like the original armour, the V3 version. So quite stoked with that. And I would like to go out and actually do a bit of a night run with it one night. I might do that over the weekend, actually. Maybe even tonight. I'll do one during the day, and I might just go down the road here, the local park or the dirt road there, and do it with the lights on and see how that looks. Because it looks fairly bright, the light bars on it. Like, I put them on in here just one night just to see how the battery sat in it. And how it sounded, and the lights look quite bright. So I wouldn't mind getting it down there because there isn't really any street lights down that part of the road. They're up near the park, but sort of there's a bit of a dirt road down the side of the park that takes you down to a footy field that's down further. So just on that bit of road, I wouldn't mind taking it down there and just see how much it actually lights it up and how well it might, record on the phone and check that out. But it looks like a fairly solid vehicle. Like, I don't think you'd go jumping it, like, it's too big. But give you a brief look at the box. Show that. All right, so that's the box it came in. So that's it there. Here's a little bit of info on that end of the box about the features. This end's a bit hard to see. It tells you the motor size and everything like that, but it's covered up with the stickers. So that's pretty much the box it came in. That's how it came too. It didn't come with any other box over it. There was no foam around it. It was just a cardboard piece like that surrounding it. Probably a little bit of damage to the end of the box there. And that end. It probably would have been better if they had foam around it if they're going to send it like that, or if they put bubble wrap around the whole thing, just to try and protect the box a bit more. Even if they put some stickers on it, handle with care. But I was quite surprised the box just came like that without an outer protecting box around it, or even wrapped in bubble wrap. Like, at least that should have been done, I think. Wrap the whole thing in bubble wrap. I just try and protect the box a bit more. But otherwise, it arrived in pretty good condition. I have seen worse shaped boxes on other guys' videos, but that's that. There was one other thing I wanted to show. These are the tools I end up getting off Banggood. So good quality hex tools. Oh, excuse me. Aluminium handles. So you guys call them hex tools. Where you guys come from? We call them Allen keys here in Australia. So this set came with different size Allen keys. So 2.5. We got the 2. What's that? The 1.5. And the one up here is a 3. So yeah, you got all your sizes there. Also get your nut drivers as well there as well. So you got your 4, your 5.5, you got your 7, and you've got your 8. The nut drivers, and you also get your screwdrivers and Phillips heads. So you got your 3, your screwdriver, you got a 4, you've got a 5, and a 6 in your screwdrivers. You got your Phillips heads, and they look like they're the same. You got your 3, your 4, your 5, and your 6. So all good quality tools. I got a fairly big hand, my size. The handles are fairly substantial, decent enough to hang on to. Not like the ones I bought off Wish. I thought they were going to be a decent size, but they turned out to be like a kid's hand size, like tiny, tiny little handles on them, like just a joke. Like try and hang on to them. Like you're lucky if you could hang on to them for like 3 fingers. Just ridiculous they were. So I found these on Banggood. As I said, the price varies on things on there, and I think I got a reasonable price on them, about $72. Have seen them on there over 80. So, as I said, you got to watch the prices on those things on Banggood. There's Kev and Pat, and that could tell you. But yeah, good little setup. Comes in a good little case. So I got the brass coloured ones. There's different colours you can get with them, and on your likes. So this little pouch it comes in, little carry handle on it there. Yeah, so that was quite good. Yeah, I can't wait to get this beast out and give it a bash. So that goes on quite easy. Yeah, nothing to pull out, just sort of try and get it straight on, everything lines up. And your pins aren't flat either. They're those slightly bent ones. You can see that. So it makes it easy to get your fingers onto and pull them out. Might have been good if they had those little rubber pieces on the end to help as well. But being bent up like that, yeah, it just makes it easy to get your fingers onto it and pull them. It's great. And yeah, I'll test out those batteries in it today and see how she goes. On the box, it says it can get up to about 80 miles per hour. So it would be interesting to see how quick it goes. I do have 4S batteries in there too. I might try 4S in it as well. I have priced some 6S batteries. I was looking at a 8,000 mAh 6S, but they're about $168. That's for one. So contemplating it. I'm thinking of getting a 6S. I said, well, then if I get one of those, I can use it in this as well as the Armour. But the reason I'm getting the 3S batteries is because I want to use them in the Traxxas as well. Because the other 3S batteries I've got are only 4000s and they don't last very long. If I'm doing speed runs like on the VXL, I've been doing some with that, just doing some drags and that with a mate. And they go all right in that, but if you're driving it around, and you're going full rev at times and that, you sort of, you might get close to 20 minutes out of them. Like, yeah, they don't last very long. So I was hoping, if I get the 7000s, well, we'll be looking at least half an hour or 40 minutes out of them, because that is like with those, believe it or not, I'm getting 40 minutes to 50 minutes out of them using those, and not going flat out all the time. It's average speed, half throttle, whatever, full speed at times. I can get near 50 minutes runtime out of these batteries. I recommend these. These are good. They're soft outer, but the only thing I've had is the plastic splits on them a little bit, but I found these quite good batteries. These Giant Power, and they're a little bit pricier. They're about, they're the 3S. I think they're about nearly $80 each, Australian. And the 4S ones I've got in there that I use in the X-Max, which I'll go and grab one and just show you. So these are the couple of batteries that I use in the X-Max. I've got a Power Plant 45C 5000 that I've been using the X-Max as well. So they're a fairly thick battery, hard case on them, but I'm probably lucky to get half an hour out of them on it. I did hear from someone else who actually had these same batteries. I don't know what he specifically said about them. Like, he said he went through them, like, as if they're not holding the charge anymore or something, or it's not giving enough power to the X-Max or something. Not quite sure what he meant there. He just said apparently he reckons he's going through the batteries. He contacted me to find out where he could get these. Now, this is the 4S in those same brand power plant. They're 6500s as well. And as you can see, the difference between them. So there's the 3S in front and the 4S behind. So the 4S is that much thicker, of course. And that's the 4S. That's for the X-Max. So that's what I use in the X-Max. And that they get the X-Max wheel standing, and I can get about 40 minutes run time out of that in the X-Max. Easy 40 minutes. Sometimes a bit longer, actually. Like that day I ran them at the park. If you look on the other videos, the day I ran the X-Max at the park, I'd actually run the X-Max before that up a hill called Ferry Mount in Kyogle, and I ran it all the way to the top with these batteries in it, all the way to the top, all the way back down, and it's a good, I'd say, half an hour walk up there. And as I came down, I did come down a couple of the steeper bits and then ran it back up again and come back down. I've done that a couple of times in a couple of different spots. And then I went to Nimbin. I took the Armour for a run, as you'd see in my videos, at the skate park. Done some flips and everything like that. Then I went back down, thought I'd show the kids the X-Max. And I brought the X-Max out and ran it then. And you can see on the videos when I run the X-Max how long I was running that for. And I had already ran it for a good hour before I even took it to Nimbin. So as I said, half an hour up the hill, half an hour back, maybe a bit longer coming back. And I wasn't going full throttle all the time with it either. So probably why it lasted so long. So I wasn't going full pace with it. I was lucky to be going quarter throttle most of the way so I could keep up with it. And I got well over an hour use out of them in the X Max. Like, must have been a good 20 minutes, 25 minutes or so. I was running at 4 there at the park, had the kids running around, full throttle with it then. So had to be a good hour and a half that I got out of those batteries that day in the X Max. So I do highly recommend these batteries. They're quite good, very good batteries. And as you're saying, when you order them, you can get them with the different fittings. So I got those specifically for the Armour, and they've got the XT90 plugs on them, and I can use them in this, which is great. So running 6S, baby. And the X Max. I got these specifically for the X Max, and that's what it states on them too. They're specifically made for the X Max, and they fit in there nicely. A little bit of room. You do have to put the other foam pad in with the X Max for these to fit in nicely. Get a nice tight fit on them. So I'll put the other bit of foam at the other end, and they fit perfectly. Beautiful. Yeah, Trax plug on them. You order them with that. These other batteries, I'm going Banggood. Here's my LiPo bag. LiPo bags, I ordered them off this actually. Them for about, I think they're about $12 each for that size. So the other ones I'm ordering are your Zop Power, which are recommended by Kev and Pat, and I found these quite good. They last quite a long time too. So that's your 4S there, and I've been using them in the Armour. So we got the T plug, but I have, I think it is those ones. Or is it just one of them? That might only be the only one I've got, and I was using that for the Armour. The 4S 100. So that one, I think I was specifically using for the Armour. They're probably a little short for the X Max to be used. I probably could use them in the X Max, but I'd have to buy another one, buy another 6,300 for that. But so I do have 2 lots I can use in it, so 5,000 peak. Give me 6,500 in the giant power. But, I suppose I could get another 4S in the Zop power. So I bought 2 3S's in that. And I bought them with, actually, did. Sorry. Correction. I did buy 2 more 4S's, and they are 14.8 volts, 40C, 7,000 mAh. And see what I mean with the 2 plugs? So that did have like that with the T plug. So around the same size. Yeah. But these ones are a little powerless, 7,000s, it's only a 6,300. And see, it came with the Traxxas plug, and that T-plug. So I didn't have a soldering iron at the time, so I took it down the hobby shop and he cut that off and put the XT90 on for us. So now I can use them. I can put it into my armour and obviously use one of them in this now. And I do use them in the Traxxas. So these ones, I didn't get much use out of them that day when I hit the wheel and busted that. But, yeah, they're working quite well. Well, I'm quite impressed with these Zop power batteries. Actually, they do last quite well and do give a fair bit of power to the vehicle. Soft shell, of course, but no, I'm finding these really good. They are really good batteries. So I've got the 3S coming as well in those, and they're 7000s as well. So I should get plenty of power out of them in the armour as well as this, and yeah, also in the Traxxas Slash and the VXL. So they should all go well.
Thanks to Pat for discovering Claire in his videos. RC Crazy Mike, thank you.
Oh, Kimberly, because I think you can't donate because she's not monetised yet. So when she's monetised, she can do it, but she needs to get her viewing up, which means more videos, more live streams. The hours the viewing will go up, and then we will be getting Claire monetised. So
I think I'm about 25% of the way there. Yeah. I haven't got any damage on mine. Mine's immaculate because I'm just that good. No, you didn't need to pay for the breakage, Kimberly. It would have got broken anyway. It's all good. Omar, hello. Yeah, we need to get out and make more videos. We haven't done a proper bashing for ages, have we?
Why are they only sending them and charging me 15 quid? So I'm just checking an Amazon order. Cheeky buggers. That's why, please. No, I want to look fine.
Yeah, you're right, RC Crazy Mark. RC Crazy Mike. We are. Well, Toby, we've bought something. How do I flip it around? Oh, there we go. We've bought something there.
G'day, mate.
You will have to wait until the weekend to see what that is.
How's it going, Jackson?
Where's my comment? Oh, there we go.
Just having a look at Claire and Pat. They're live as well. Yeah, there's a couple of them that are live on here.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, good, mate. I finished work early this morning, and I said I was going to do a bit of
you should have got it on camera.
a show here. I got a new car. That's my first buy off Banggood. So Adam, Desert Buggy. Just gave a bit of a show of it earlier on. I'll take the top off for you. So,
Matt, you're talking about our unboxing or Pat's unboxing? It's ours. No, we're doing that at the weekend. Tomorrow. That will be up on Sunday, Monday at the latest. How hot is it in the UK? Well, yesterday it hit 40 here.
XT90 plugs.
That was, it was
nice big motor in it, like your armour. It's even got Adam written on it. And it's a 2000 kV. That's quite good. Yeah, it's FS Racing. It's made by the same company and made the vehicle. It's 4274 2000 kV, and we've got a, what is that? The ESC is waterproof. It's a WP waterproof 8BL 150. So it should be pretty powerful. 6S. All the suspension's aluminium, even the caps are aluminium. As you can see, even on the caps, Adam's written on the cap.
Okay, I'm back. Am I back? Can you see me now? Oh, Snod Snoodle.
Snodgy.
Lucy says Mum's fixing it.
Can you hear her in the background?
Can you see it now, Lou?
I'll just turn her off so I can hear that. Yeah, well, this, I watched it for a few weeks. It started off at over 800, and then you got to be patient with Banggood. And I watched it for a while, and then it dropped down to like 617. So I thought, right, I'll jump on it and buy it. 617. With postage and tax, it cost me about $676, which I thought was pretty good. So I saved a couple of $100 on it. Oh yeah, and what have we got? We've got a 15 kilo servo on it too, steering servo. So the one on the arm is about 9 kilo. So this one's a little stronger. No, dollars. Yeah, that's Australian dollars. So you'd probably get it cheaper there in the pound in England. You'd probably get it a lot cheaper. You'd probably get it for around under 500, probably around 400 over there. Because our dollar is what? I think our dollar's about £2. I think, yeah, our dollar's worth about. Yeah, I think. Well, how's it go? Yeah, I think it was like £2 to our dollar or something. So you'd get it a hell of a lot cheaper than what we'd get it for. Like with the taxes and everything that Australia's got on things here, if we buy things on the net, online, got these ridiculous taxes here in Australia. It's just bullshit, eh? But the thing I found with Banggood, watch it, be patient, don't buy straight away, and watch the price, because they have specials. The price gets knocked down. Well, as I said, I saved like $200 Australian on this, easy. I can't wait to get it out and give it a run. It has lights. So you got a big light bar on the front. You got a light bar on the rear, and it's white light in the middle. And then you got red lights to the outside. I've plugged it in there earlier, and like everyone's seen unboxing, so I didn't think I'd go through all that. You got the wiring under here, both front and rear, which connect up here. You got the two there to connect up to. So I wouldn't mind doing a night run with it just to see how bright it is, how it lights up. The tyre on the back, which is real. So that's your spare. They're all glued, which I'm happy with. The only thing with it too, with the colour, you can't exactly choose the colour. Yeah, all good. So if the others will come over and watch, I was hoping Steve AD was going to be watching, and maybe Scotty. I told Steve that I'd get on Saturday morning. I don't know if he's been notified. He surely would have seen us. He's subscribed to my channel. Yeah, what I was saying with the colour, you can't choose the colour on Banggood either. It's apparently random. Yeah, so I end up getting the red. There's a blue as well. You can buy the blue body shell if you want to. That's all in the manual. That on there. Fits on nicely. The manual here. So they're the vehicles they've got in the 6S. If you go to their website there at the bottom, don't forget to click up on the right hand side. It's got ENG for English. Hit that and it'll all come up in English. Otherwise, it's in Chinese writing. So unless you know how to read Chinese, you got Buckley's. So yeah, they're all the 6S vehicles. I sort of looking at this one, the Leopard. Looks all right. A truggy. I sort of don't mind that kind of shape, and but I found it there, but it it doesn't have a price and didn't have a sale thing on it. So try to look it up again on Banggood. I have tried to look for it there, but for some reason it can't find it. Also, the chassis on these are 5mm thick, the chassis. So that's quite substantial, I think, like quite a strong chassis on them. They got the chassis braces inside, like the armour, like the version 3, coming down from the front and the back to the chassis. Quite impressed with it, actually. Like, I'll see how it runs and I'll do a little video on that and see how that goes. I'm going to drink this coffee before it goes cold, hey? And a good little manual. It tells you about all 4 cars in here. Like I said before earlier in the video, if you go back and watch, all your parts, all your part numbers, tells you the colours, so you can get all the parts for it, for all the vehicles. It gives you blowouts of the other vehicles, parts, chassis, AC and all that. And yeah, all the blowout pictures of everything. Gives you all the part numbers for everything. As I said, it's got it in the back of the manual there, so you can look up any of the parts you need. Your steering connector rods, rear lower arms, front lower suspension arms, your swing shafts, rear upper arms, everything, suspension, your shock towers, your nuts and bolts. It's got everything listed there with all the part numbers, so easy to go to their site and whatever if you need to order any of that. I'm guessing you could go through Banggood as well to order those parts. And as I said earlier in the video, the only other thing I was disappointed with was they don't send any tools with it. You don't get any Allen keys or wheel wrench or anything. Luckily, the bolts on the wheels are 17mm, so the tool off your armour and that will work on this. So that's good, but a bit bummed they didn't send tools. I did show the controller earlier. It's a pretty snazzy looking controller. All sporty wheel on there. Looks like a sporty rim, foam padding, controller, aerial. And at the back on these particular controllers, all your switches, throttle, speed, and so forth. You can adjust the power 100% and lower. Your throttle trim, steering trim, all that. Your on-off buttons at the bottom. 4 AA batteries in it, and you're ready to go. So you switch him on, and you've got a couple of lights that come on. That's bright, isn't it? A couple of lights will turn him off. And I'll do a little video later on. I'll take it for a run. I was thinking of taking it to a bit of a bush track and giving a little run on there. I was thinking of maybe taking it to the beach and giving a little run over some rocks and see how that goes. And a night run I'd like to do with it. Take it down to the track here and just give it a bit of a run at night and see how these lights, light up the path kind of thing and see how that looks. It's pretty impressive that. Like, it's got a full-on light bar on the front of it and as well on the back. The tyre on the back would block it. I suppose if I wanted to, if I do the night run, I could actually take that rear tyre off and maybe give it a run like that. So that's on there solid. So I could just give it a run like that so I can see the lights at the back of the vehicle properly. And it looks like on that frame there, that's just a screw hole. It's got a spot there for an aerial or something. You could probably go on the back. Or maybe it's for something else to attach there. But I could probably definitely give it a run just like that at night so you can see the rear lights. Because you've got the middle ones that come up white. I think it's from there to there. So 1, 2, 3, 4 lights. Those 4 come up white, but the 2 either end come up red. So I might actually do it there because I think with that wheel on there, if I have that wheel there, as you can see, it blocks it. Take it off, then you're going to be able to see the lights. So I might do it that way. See how it goes without that spare wheel on the back. So pretty good. All-terrain tyres. It's got written on it. Speedline tyres. They're quite substantial tyres, quite grippy looking. I reckon they'll be good in the sand as well as the dirt. I wouldn't mind taking them to the beach where I took the arm at that time, and there's some smaller rocks that I wouldn't mind trying it out on. Yeah, I was hoping to I was hoping there'd be some others on. Notifications. Shazam. Is on. Let's clear them. That's all I can't. Right. Sign in. Oh, okay. Okay. Let's see if I can get any on Yahoo. That'll be fun. Right. Then Alrighty. That's done. Let's open to see if anyone else was on here. Let's see if he's on here.
Aloha. RC Raw Shocky cracked the whip and he got a 2-minute break.
Now someone's not getting sex tonight.
It's you on a ban for the rest of the week. Harry Harris, hello, how are you doing? Oh, this table's really wobbly. We need to do something with this. I'm sorry it's wobbling, guys, if it's making you seasick. I'll move that out of the way so people can see what you're doing.
I can't do it. I'm in Kes.
It's 35.5 in Stoke. Yeah, we were 40 Phil Speedway. That was look, it's got smoky. Simon Manning, hello, how are you doing? Scott McGowan says, good day, Pat, Claire, and Ian. Don't forget Ian, look. I'll see Raw Shock, how do you know the future? Weird. We wrote the rule book. Jesus, I need more wine.
You gorgeous little bit.
RC Man's is saving for a 2-wheel drive slash at the moment. Well, we've got our 4-wheel drive one, and that is blooming awesome. Just a lovely little truck.
Is he?
Oh, that's cool.
I said to him, take it, paddles where I flash it around the track.
Yeah, Phil Speedway, it was nasty. And I do ironing for a living, and my ironing board is an industrial one, so it's heated. So it's like standing next to a radiator. So my job really sucks.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, you need the book. Ask your wife for the book. She's got it, RC Raw Shock.
That book is only available to women, apparently.
Yeah, we hide it. It's in one of those drawers that you lot won't go in.
Shut the box.
Are you going to Paddlesworth, Harry?
Is that Harry Steele?
No, Harry Harris.
Harry Harris, yeah. I've got a name coming. I'm only 800 subs away from doing my giveaway, isn't I? So
What are you going to give away? Do you know?
I'm going to do a rampage.
Mm.
But I'm going to do it so cleverly. So I'm going to go my loyal subscribers.
That's the way you do it.
So I'm going to go to the people that actually watch the video, and they have to watch the video to win.
Ian, say hello to Loose Nut behind the wheel. Because Moni, you don't talk.
Yeah, I know.
It's not. Your face isn't on camera. It's all good.
That's sweet.
Yeah. It's only bulgy bits on camera. Not those bulgy bits. Somebody said, Yvonne says, are you going to... Is Pat going to the drag strip with Pat? I'm assuming you mean Kevin.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I'm helping out here. I've basically got to take all the RCs down.
I think we should go there as well and watch that.
Yeah, I've got to take all the RCs down.
Yeah, because then I go in the
back.
Is Slug going to Paddlesworth or is he under the thumb? It has been mentioned that he's coming, but we're not convinced. Just Johnny, we haven't broken. Have we broken anything on the slash yet?
I've broken arm and rear elbow. That was a very bad way.
That was massive.
He's saying that it's hard to repair.
No, doddle.
I'm meant to repair it.
I need to take a full cut from my XTM, which is all metal.
Yeah.
You know, and the XTM case worse.
Well, the only thing setting it down is the instrument screws.
RC Rorschach, so long as it works for you, that doesn't matter.
Did you get your Proline shop shafts then?
No.
Is it order?
I'm ordering them.
Trevor says when you're doing the drag strip, when's that? Okay.
We're waiting for a date. Basically, Santa Claus busy this weekend, so we're waiting for a date off the guy after that. And then it could be any time, mate. There's no set time on it.
RC Creator, that is no excuse because we should be on holiday too, but we've cut ours short for Paddlesworth, so I'm not buying that. We're driving from Stevenage to Kent on Saturday, back to Stevenage on Sunday, and then probably early hours of Monday morning we're driving down to Cornwall, so no excuse. And Kimberly's coming from Denmark, so definitely no excuse.
Well, Mallorca, isn't she?
Is she coming from Mallorca?
Oh.
Hello, RC Works Studio. Where's Kev tonight? Is he the STEM or?
Been on here a while.
Busy boy. From North. We good, RC Works Studio. How are you going? $2,000 for an X-Max to run into a tree, Yvonne.
We'll keep saying going to all this X-Max, but I think X6S is fine. 8S is just hilarious, and then 12S is just beyond.
RC Bonus, this isn't a shed, this is a log cabin. We have double glazing and everything. It's posh.
Well, I've shown Claire a slash video. There's 3-1 slash. Yeah. Like, straight to the back.
RC Rorschach, shout out to Ian. Oh, that was awesome. Can you find that again? Find it now. Let me show it on here.
Oh, you can't find that.
Oh, can you not? Oh, yeah. Pat's here too, look. He's chilling.
I'm sitting on the couch, vaping. I'm a nice chill.
Kimberly says, help, can someone tell me which drive shafts work on the Rustler 4x4?
XI1s, I have changed it up. So
No, MIP X Duty.
yeah, that's the ones, yeah.
Don't go for the
Nuno.
rest.
I don't know if I'm saying that right, but hello.
You can't put tracks as XI1s on, but you have to do something to the hubs.
You've got to change with the hubs.
You've got to change the hubs, but they're super strong. So. But the thing is, when you do break them, it's even more expensive.
Or techno-driven, but they come with plastic hubs.
And then you've got an Ultimate, so you've got Harry.
Showtime.
Oh my God, I'm a beast.
You want to tell me just what we're dealing with here?
I'm a beast.
Look at me. I'm Black Superman. Hobbs and Shaw. Your reward is going.
Oh my God, I'm a beast.
Fast and Furious Hobbs and Shaw.
What's that?
Right, here we go. Hi guys, how are you all? Basically, if you're watching this after the live stream, I'm unboxing a little toy that I've been sent from someone very nice. And we're going to crack on with in a minute. We're in here with Ian. And we've got Claire as well. We're over at their pad today. Bit of a different, nice change. So let's do some shout-outs. SLD, RC Maniacs, Mafius Rider, Clark's Mad RC, how you doing? Ian's in there, let's hello Ian. Ian's busy, as usual. Ian's busy. Hello Chase, Toby, Ethan, Glitch, Willem. Asterians, guess what Asterian said? Yeah.
Yeah, sorry for that. I'm a bit silent. I was just hoping there'd be a few more on here. Been on for about 2 hours. Yeah, well, you'll probably be watching this afterwards. Might as well end it there so I can go and do other things, I know. Right, yeah. Well, I showed you all those. So, yeah, I'll end it there. Thanks, Jackson Highfield, for tuning in. Sorry none of the others could tune in. So I wrote a message to a couple others to see if they'd pop up. I did tell Steve AD they'd be on Saturday morning, but was he's busy or doing other things. Whatever, I'll post some videos to do with the buggy and see how they go. Oh yeah. So if you're interested, check out my channel. Leave any comments. Anything new I can do, and please subscribe and give a thumbs up and hit the bell button if you want to see any more. I'll try to get some more videos up. Righto, have a good day, have a good weekend. See you folks.